Hi, good morning. It's Tanny the Canadian Stamper. Welcome. It's Sunday morning crafting. I am back from our family trip in Europe. We were gone for 3 weeks, and it's a long time to be away from my craft room and from doing my crafting lives. I did a couple of lives while we were away, so those are fun if you want to check those out. I have a cute treat holder today. This is what we're making using the Latte Love. I guess we're using the suite. Yeah, I would say the suite because we're going to use so in the suite comes the stamp set, the coordinating dies, and then there's a pack of designer series paper as well. So we're going to use some of that. I'm really happy to be back in my craft room and making a little tree holder. I've been up since about 6. Yesterday I was up at 4, just trying to adjust to the time and whatnot. So I've got this fun project. So let's get to it. I'm going to do right from scratch today, so that we can do all the cutting and all that jazz. Willow swiped my chair. So just adjusting. So here's our little treat holder. So I've put these are like lemon cream cups. Got 3 of them in there, and then you can do a little gift card holder. So there's the little box that we're gonna do. I'm casing this from a US demonstrator. It's and her name is, I think, In the Pink Crafting Designs. So she's got, yeah, so I'm doing it a little bit different, but that's who the creative inspiration. Now, some people have mentioned to me, I don't drink coffee, and so the suite's not for them, but this could be these are coffee, but you could certainly hot chocolate, all sorts of different hot beverages. Let me show you the designer series paper quickly. We're just gonna go through it. So this cup that's on the front, I made this one for our left-handed friends. I've stamped, die cut, and colored, but if you didn't want to do that, you could use the dies. Always check, if you buy the suite, always check that the dies will cut something out here. So front and back quickly. And then we're gonna make our project. So I have the newsletter all lined up to send out after the live, which will have all of our measurements in printed form. So I'm gonna put in the comments all the different links and things that I have to different events coming up. So let's do it. We're gonna use Misty Moonlight. I'm just gonna grab a fresh piece of paper. Excuse me, and I was going to bring up comments so that I can see just going to let you look at this while we're doing that. So this one, she's even got a piece down here. So we're going to cut, I have cut the pieces already, but they will be in the newsletter. How is everybody? I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to be here. I think I'm gonna have volume issues. Love it. I see you. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's do it. So we have a piece we're using Misty Moonlight. This one is Lost Lagoon, this coloring here, and then I've matched it with the coloring there. So we have a piece of Misty Moonlight. You can use whatever color you want that would match with, I'm picking up some of the brown that's in there, which is Pecan Pie. So the piece of paper we're using, so I've just opened up this arm. Oh, you can't see it, hang on. Let me pull it down. Whoop, there we go. All right, so the piece that we're gonna do is this is an 8.5 by 11, and I want the end size to be 7 3/4 by 4. So so we're gonna make our first cut at, sure, you could do it this way, 4. And then we're gonna go 7 3/4. So we have this piece now. Fold that arm back in. Okay, so on the 7 3/4 side, the long side, we're going to do 2 scores at 2.5. And the next one is at 3 3/4, or sorry, 3 1/4. Yesterday, I felt like I was in a dream for most of the day. I still feel a little bit of that today. So then on the 4-inch side, excuse me, we're going to score at 3/4. And then we're going to score at 3 1/4. I feel like I'm being ambitious by doing a, excuse me, a card, a fun fold card on my first day back. Just going to take all this out so you can see. So the score lines that we have done, you've got 2 long ones here. This is essentially, that's the width, that's 2 score lines there. So we're just going to cut it and glue it that way. Excuse me. If you wanted this to be a bit wider or this to be a bit wider, I was going to try and fit 2 of my mom's cookies in here, but it's not wide enough. You're just going to make this piece a little bit bigger, like maybe add 1/4 of an inch to all the things and it'll be wider. All right, so now we're going to score on the, okay, so we did our 2 score lines here and here for our sides. We're gonna go back to the 7 3/4, and in case you can't see it, the other pieces are here. So this is the long piece, and we're gonna score, so we're gonna go, sorry, where am I? Turn to the 7 3/4 side. Now on the first, hang on, see, I jinxed myself on my ambition. What I'm trying to do is I want to get my side pieces on here. So 2.5 and 2.5. 2 and 2. All right, so we're gonna line up this mark right here. This is our second score line. And we're gonna go to the 2. I'm just trying to line that up. And we're gonna score only to the first line that's here. It might be a little bit difficult to see, but if you make the project, you'll know. Now, so just to the first score line. So here's a little trick. See here on your scoring blades, it's got a line right there. You want to line that up with where your score line is. That's how you know you're lining up the score with the score line underneath, is that's the, so that you know where to stop. So you're going to flip it around, and I am just lining up my score line here, which would be 2.5, and then just doing the same thing, coming down and lining up those 2 pieces. Okay, we're finished with that. Now what we're going to do is fold and varnish. So if you wanted to do a score line all the way across, you can do that. It would be the back of your panel. You would just have a score line all the way across, but the paper is going to cover it anyways, so whatever you're comfortable with, just the way to go. Still don't have any comments. One moment. Oh, there you are. Hi. Welcome back. Thank you, Gail. Welcome. And where's my lines? Here they are. Geez, I didn't score very well, did I? I didn't push hard enough. That's okay though. So this will start to take shape now. Okay, now don't worry about scoring these because we're just going to cut them. They're just more of a guideline. Thanks, Kate. Okay, so we're gonna do our normal box. So we're snipping up the score lines here and here, and then we're wedging. which is optional, of course. I'll show you why you might want a wedge. Is because when you glue this, so obviously we're wedged here and not wedged here. So when you do this, when you're gluing it together, see how you get a little bit that sticks out there, whereas on the wedged side, there's nothing sticking out. It's just a little bit cleaner, and it also, you're more likely to get your edges lined up, in my opinion. If you were to use tear and tape, you might not wedge, because with tear and tape you only get one go at it, but we're going to use wet glue. And so see how my wedges aren't the same? They don't have to be perfectly lined up. Okay, so then let's cut away our pieces here. I hope I did it right. The newsletter will have instructions, of course, and I'm going to post the links in the comments to the different classes and the newsletter. Okay. So get rid of those pieces. Now, this is what our prototype, our base is going to look like. So you could keep this and then make another one, and then keep this in your stash, so that if you wanted to make this with another suite, another theme, then you would have the template ready to go. Okay, so the trick here that I like to think about is getting the glue kind of as close to the edges without causing there to be excess. And then just line it up perfectly. Let it get tacky for a second, because it'll move around on you. And then same with this one. There we go. How's everybody this morning? What's everybody doing? We're cleaning house. We're just getting ready for the week. We braved Costco yesterday, if you can believe it. And what else can I tell you? I'm really happy to be home. I'm not interested in eating pasta or pizza anytime soon. Had our fill of that. It was a really great family trip. I hope you guys are going. I can see on Facebook some of you are going on your vacations, which is lovely. I love to see the photos. Thanks for all of you that followed along on my Europe trip. So there's our little box. Perfect. Now, I tried out, let's put it this way, rounding the corners. I don't have a corner rounder. I'm just gonna show you, where's the scrap? So I was trying on a scrap piece of paper. I'm not gonna do it on this one because I'm gonna have one rounded and one not rounded. If you don't have a corner rounder, but you have a circle punch, I just want to show you the difference. I don't know if you can see in here. So this is a retired Stampin' Up punch, 1.5. This is a newer one, 1 3/4. And I show you this, if you can see the difference, because inside here is a little bit different. So what they tell us to do is, so you're going to take your paper, the corner that you want to round, and you're going to stick it in, and then you have a rounded corner. The wider the circle, the wider the rounding will go. But on the newer ones, there's an extra piece in here, so you can't really, you see how you can't get it in? But if you close it a bit, you can slide it under. So you can see the difference between 1.5 punch, and then this one is 1 3/4. So see the difference in the rounding. Anyways, if you wanted to round corners, then you have that option now. I would practice before you did it on your project. I messed up my corners, so I used the bow to cover. All right. So let's glue on our pieces and do our stamping. So measurements will be in the newsletter, of course. And you can use, I mean, it doesn't have to be the Latte Love. You could theme this another way. This paper is directional, so just be mindful when you're cutting. You're just gonna try and cut from one piece. If you have directional paper or you want your paper to kind of carry the, I might need a new glue, carry the pattern equally around. Yeah, I'm gonna need a new glue. Yard work is on the list today. I'm getting ready for work next week. It's gonna be a trick because I have to remember all my passwords for work. We'll see how I do. All right, new glue. I happen to have one right here. So I've had to wear a sweater yesterday when we went for a walk because it was too cold. I wasn't like cold, but I definitely had a chill for sure, which is kind of silly because it was 20 something degrees, but I'm still just kind of adjusting being back. Honestly, I've never been so hot in my life. And I used to live in Arizona. I don't even know how else to describe it. So Lance said to Zach and I, so the next time Dad says it's going to be really hot if we go in the summer, Lance had cautioned us to say, maybe we shouldn't be going in that time of year, but Zach wanted to be home for Christmas. So summer it was. Anyways, Zach did probably the best. Lance and Zach did really well with the heat. I, for some reason, did not. Lance is a slave driver. Okay, he was up at, was it 4:30, 5:30 yesterday? And he was out doing yard work first thing in the morning. Zachary vacuumed, washed the car. All right, there's our little container so far. Okay, so let's do our cup and the sentiment, and then we'll be done. So we're gonna use Memento and Pecan Pie. So where's my cup? So like I say, if you don't want to stamp, you could use the die cuts or just fussy cut a cup from the set or the designer series paper. That's doable. So that's the outline of the cup, and then pecan pie basically for the rest. I'm gonna go here. That's pretty dark. And then I'm gonna do a couple. I added some coffee beans to here. I tried to color them first. I colored them and die cut them. I was not a fan of the colored version. You need to have like a tone on tone, two different shades. This one's on me is what it says. All right, so then I'm gonna use my little die cut machine because I don't want too fussy cut. Oh. So this glass mat that I'm working on is now available if you want to have one for your craft surface. This one just lives on my desk now. It is just there always. Where are my dies? So we're gonna use 1, 2, and 3. So when you're using your mini stamp cut and emboss machine, if that's how you're choosing to do this, it moves around quite a bit for me. I don't know about you. So you might just do one at a time or use washi tape. I don't really have any washi tape handy, so we're gonna do just these two simple ones and then we'll do the coffee beans after. So press and hold this down so that you can try and keep your die in place. Okay, where are people going for summer holidays if they're still going places? Okay, I know you're doing a family trip. I'm just gonna cut this so it's a little easier to work with. So there's a little die for the coffee beans. I'm just gonna do one actually, I think. Perfect. There it is there. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So upcoming classes, now that I'm back, I'm just going to show you while I am coloring this piece. Hopefully it's in. All right, then I've got Misty Moonlight, light and dark. So decide how you best want to color and then go with that. Like as far as if you want to do all light, all dark, if you want to blend and make it fancy, or you could leave it less fancy. This is the sample. All right, so classes that are coming up. So, well, the workshop, Craft and Chat, which is where you come in person. We do five different projects. They're based on all different stamp sets, designer series paper. Sometimes there's a fun fold. Maybe I'll do this one as one of the projects. You do 5 projects and you get $25 worth of Stampin' Up! Products. And then, excuse me, so the one in September, it's a special date in September. It's also my birthday. So I'm gonna do something extra fun for that one. So that's this one. And then, so that's that one. So then August 11th, so that's the Golden Greenery class. Okay, so for this, just so that you know what I'm doing, I'm gonna layer this on this. And so see how it's got some white? If you like that, then you're good. I want to add a little bit more depth. And so it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to fill in a little bit of that white. This is the dark. So I use light on the outside of Misty Moonlight, and now I'm doing dark kind of roughly this side of the Memento black line. So the Golden Greenery is 4 elegant cards, 3 glamorous tags. I think I was getting fancy with my words when I put together this class description. And then you get $35 in coordinating products. So like we were talking about, the coordinating products for this would be the designer series paper and ribbon and that sort of stuff. So same with the Golden Greenery suite. Okay, I'm gonna add some dimensionals to the back of my, could do coffee, or I think I'm gonna trim that white. Gotta keep up with your comments here. Gail says she's going away. Oh yeah, Italy next summer. I was gonna do a list of the different apps that were helpful. Google Translate, super helpful. get your guide. I think it was the best when Lance downloaded some Train Natalia. I might just trim this too. Train Natalia. There's like two main train companies, and then the regional trains is what you use for day trips. It's good. I kind of liked, we had stuff planned in Rome and for the first few days, and then we didn't plan anything after that. And I kind of liked when we didn't have anything planned, because we just did whatever that day. Jumped on a regional train and did a little day trip. All right, so back to the class. So Golden Greenery, that's that one. And then August kit together. So there's no cost to that one. You can either bring your own kit or order a kit from me. And that one's in person though, at a local coffee shop. Okay, so now, where's my ribbon? Here it is. So this is not the coordinating ribbon. I thought I bought the coordinating ribbon, but I can't find it. So we're going with this instead. This ribbon, it's kind of difficult to work with actually, because it's really stiff, which you might like. Maybe it's a bit easier to make a bow with, but you just have to work with it a bit. Loosen up the fibers, and you can decide how big you want your bow to be. I have a bow maker, which I could be using. Lori's just finishing 3 weeks off. Nice. I saw lots of your photos from, you're all over the place, all over town, girl. Great photos. Okay. So now I did go a bit happy with my glue dots because the ribbon is pretty thick and I didn't want it to pop off. So I'm gonna go 2. I hope it's cooler for you next summer, Gail. It was like approaching, Lance said it was gonna be 40 in Rome when we were heading home. Like it's just, it's incredible. I'm so thankful. There's just water fountains everywhere. So in Rome, Naples, Venice, Verona, even in Switzerland when we were there, they had fountains as well. It's really awesome. I just wanted it to be more cold. The water gets warm fast because it's so hot out, and I need the cold. Just helps me cool down. All right. So I'm just freehanding this. You could put it in your trimmer if you want. I think that's about right. Also, if you're booking trains to go to different places, give yourself lots of time in between and expect that they will break down, expect that they will be late, and always have a backup plan, always. We spent our 3-hour trip to Verona turned into 6.5 hours, and most of that was sitting at a train station, and I don't even know where we were. Well, Venice, I guess. It was lame, very lame, but what can you do? Same thing happened when we were in Europe the year before. The trains, it's just how it goes sometimes, but just be prepared for it. You can't get worked up about it or get mad about it because it just is what it is. You can, oh, I did double dimensionals. Okay, so I'm gonna add my little coffee beans. Optional, of course. The other thing you could add if you wanted for this sweet, this, can you see the swirl? It's like coffee swirls in there. I'm missing your comments. Yeah, Gail, the heat should scare you, girl. Sorry. Sorry to tell you, just move slow. That's my recommendation. We backpacked poor people with their rolly bags and their luggage. If you're going to Venice, don't do it. Don't wheelie bag. It's crazy. People in their wheelie bags. Or some people have wheelie bags where you can do, it can be a wheelie bag or it can be a backpack. That's the smart travel thing. And of course, we didn't wear half the clothes that we brought. Anyways, I can separately, I'm happy to like write you a little email with tips and stuff if you want while they're fresh in my brain. Okay. Okay, so I've gone through all of the classes. I'll link the comment, or I'll put the links in the comment when I'm finished. Newsletter coming out not very, like later today. Gotta go do my gardening. So now we have our gift card. We're gonna go in there if you wish. And then whatever kind of treats you want to put in here to go with either their coffee or chocolate or, this is chocolate, coffee or hot chocolate or whatever they're going to get at Starbucks or Tim Hortons or wherever. So there's a little, I suppose you could put a little white circle back here if you wanted to write another message. You could swap out that designer series paper for just a clear piece, and then you could write your message if you wanted to put one on. And then this one has the rounded corners if you like that look. So this one's Lost Lagoon color, and this one's Misty Moonlight. There we go. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm thrilled to be home, and I look forward to, if you want to join in some classes, or we'll see you online for tutorials and things. I will be back at it. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.